So, good day everyone. Our topic for today is about advanced spreadsheet skills. Whether you work in the field of accounting, computer science, IT, education, or not, the truth is whatever you do, you should be accounted for. This is because the resources you use cost your expenses. Whether you become a scientist, an engineer, an IT practitioner, a bartender, or an airline pilot, it is important to understand how a company spends to be able to deliver a product or service. These factors could easily be computed using spreadsheet programs like Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets. Before we may proceed, I just want to give you the lesson objectives. This lesson introduces you to how to use a spreadsheet application to create simple reports such as budgets or cash flows. Upon completion of this lesson, you should be able to understand basic terminology or concept for spreadsheets, create a new blank worksheet or use a template to create a worksheet, enter or edit data in a worksheet, open, close, or save workbooks, select cells for a variety of purposes, copy and move data, change the column width or row height, create simple formulas and use common built-in functions, format the data in worksheet to enhance it, work with charts, sort or filter information in a worksheet, work with tables, preview and print report, and of course, the commonly used Microsoft Excel functions, conditional function, and the use of Microsoft Excel in market research. You need also to familiarize with Microsoft Excel as viable tool in market research and product development. So, as with any Office application, when you first start the program, you see the backstage view. You can select a template for creating a new workbook or click Open Other Workbooks link to access the Open tab in a backstage view. As you work in Excel recently, use files will display in the left pane of the Start Up screen. A new blank workbook is shown, of course, in this figure. So, the Microsoft Excel is a spreadsheet lets you create, view, edit, and share your files with others quickly and easily. Manage search, data analysis, and more while you view and edit workbooks attached to email messages. So, a while ago, we display a different part, of course, of the Microsoft Excel environment. We have name box, insert functions, formula bar, select all, active cell, column headings, row headings, tab scrolling, sheet tab, and scroll bars. Understanding basic terminologies. An Excel file is called a workbook, and a workbook contains one or more individual worksheets. A worksheet contains rows numbered from 1 to 1,048,576 and columns assigned with letters or letter combination from A to Z, then AA to ZZ, then AAA to ZZ, AZZ, and so on up to XFD. A cell is an intersection of a row and column and can contain one single value or formula. Each cell has its own address or reference you can use to find it within a worksheet. The active cell is the cell currently displayed with a tick border, such as cell A1 in the previous picture. You can insert three types of data into worksheet cells, either labels, values, and formulas. So the following image is an example of how to organize your data so that you can clearly see its purpose. So numbers are constant values such as dollars and percentage. By default, they align to the right side of a cell. If you enter characters others than number, Excel treats the entire entry as a label. Moving around the worksheet. You can move around the cell of a worksheet using the following methods. So, scroll bars, left, right, up, or down, home, control plus home, control plus end, control plus G, or F5. Managing workbooks. You can also press control plus N to create a new blank workbook or a new blank document type in any Office application. You can also press control plus O to display the open dialog box. And you can also press control plus W or control plus F4 to close the workbook. How to save a workbook. You can also click Save on the Quick Access toolbar or press Ctrl plus S to quickly save the file. And this is common to all Office applications. The default file type given to an Excel file is .xlsx, although you can save it in different file formats using the options in the Save As Type field. So as what we have here in our given figure. Using Excel and other spreadsheet file types, Excel also supports the more generic file types associated with spreadsheet type. And this type include comma-separated values, tab delimited files. So opening a workbook, to open a file, use one of the following methods. Okay? And closing workbook, click the File tab and click Close. Manipulating the content. So we have arranged single cell, extend the selection, the entire row, entire column, entire worksheet, non-adjacent cells, columns, or rows, multiple rows, multiple columns. How to copy and move data. You can press Ctrl plus C for copy, Ctrl plus X for cut, and Ctrl plus B for paste in any Office application. So, then after that, you have paste all, clear all, and options. Changing the column widths. You can adjust column widths to display more characters. When a text entry in a cell is longer than the width of the column, Excel displays the text by overflowing the entry into the cells to the right if they are empty, if the cell to the right contains information, and the text is truncated or cut off the column boundary. To change the width of the column on the Home tab in the Cells group, click Format and then Column Width. You can also point the mouse pointer on the line at the right edge of the column header to be adjusted. And when you see, click and drag to the required width of the column. Changing the column widths, click the row heading or column heading where you want to insert a new row or column. Then, press Ctrl++ on the numeric keypad. Click the row heading or column heading where you want to delete. Then, press Ctrl+- in the numeric keypad. Creating simple formulas. Okay, so using common built-in functions, Excel provides over 300 built-in functions for mathematical and data operation. Functions accept numbers, values, and cell references as arguments with parentheses following this format. Then, some common functions you will use include sum, average, mean or minimum, max per maximum, and count. So, what does formatting mean? Formatting refers to changing the appearance of data to draw attention to parts of the worksheet or to make the data easier to read. You can format a cell or range of cells at any time, either before or after you enter the data. A cell remains formatted until you clear the format or reformat the cell. So when you enter new data in the cell, Excel will display it in the existing format. So when you copy or fill a cell, you copy its format along with the cell contents. And you can also press Ctrl+1 to display the Format Cells dialog box for further options on formatting various elements of the worksheet. Formatting numbers and decimal digits. To format selected cells that contains values on the Home tab in the number group, click the arrow of the number format and click the format required, or click one of the commonly used number format buttons in the number group of the Home tab. Use Merge and Center to center a text label across several cells. To split cell that were merged using Merge and Center, click the arrow on the Merge and Center button, then click Unmerge Cell. Changing fonts and sizes. So a font is a typeface or type text style. Changing font alters the way text and numbers appear. Keep the number of font in a worksheet to 1 or 2, as the appearance of too many font styles can be distracting. Applying cell border. Borders separate groups of data to improve legibility, especially when the worksheet contains a large volume of numbers. And these features enable you to draw lines around any or all edges of a cell or range of cells. Working with charts. A chart is a pictorial representation of a data in a worksheet. A chart can be a more descriptive way of representing your data, as it can clearly illustrate trends or patterns in the data. So in selecting chart types, Excel provides a variety of chart types and several subtypes within each major type. So Excel provides a variety of chart types and several subtypes within each major type. We have column, line, pie, bar, area, X and Y or the scatter, stack, surface, and radar, subtype, chart types. So use commands on the chart tools ribbon to manipulate items on the chart. So as what we have here in our figure, okay, so access titles, chart title, data labels, data table, error bars, grid lines, and the legend. Inserting data. One advantage of using Excel to store data is the option to sort and organize the data based on the values in the selected columns or rows. On the Home tab in Editing Group, click Sort and Filter. So you will be able to see the Sort A to Z, Z to A, Custom Sort, wherein actually set up to 64 levels or priority on what items to sort by order. Filter, clear, and reapply. Understanding Excel databases. So, databases in Excel are really lists that adhere to a special set of requirements. The first row of the database must contain field names at the top of each column. Each column in the database must contain the same category or data in every row in the column. In each row in the database contains all of the fields of data. The row contains the field names must be formatted differently from the rest of the list. There can be no blank rows in the list. Data in a column must be in the same format for every row in the column. So, working with tables. Excel offers you the ability to define this block as a table. As a table, you can use a variety of tools such as selecting summary formulas, formatting, sorting, and filtering. And to convert a range of cells containing data or a table, use one of the following methods. On the Insert tab in the Tables group, click Table, or on the Home tab in the Style group, click Format as Table, then click a Table Style. The Table Style Colors option can be removed and reapplied later if needed again. Moving table data. So, this will be the process. Then, for formatting table of data. Finalizing the output. To print a worksheet, click the File tab and click Print. Actually, you will be able to see also the print preview. Advanced spreadsheet skills, so mail merge and label generation by integrating images and external materials. Then this will be the basic Excel formulas. So of course, the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and of course, the type before the formula. Average, a function used to compute for the average of the number of a range. And count if, a function used to count the cells with a specified content with a range. Sum if, a function used to compute for the summation of a range if a certain condition is met. And the average if, a function used to compute for the average of a range if a certain condition is met. So in finding a range in Excel, range is the range of cell where you want to look for the criteria. Then sum is a function used to count the cells with content in range. And average cell, the actual range of cell that will be averaged. If omitted, the range will be used instead. So before I end, Microsoft Excel provides an automated way of displaying any statistical data. It can be used to automatically compute for several factors that are not easy to notice, especially when faced by a large data. Microsoft Excel includes several arithmetic and basic functions that help you compute faster. With Microsoft Excel, organizing and analyzing data are much simpler through the use of conditional functions, such as count if, average, and sum if. This function work almost the same as count, average, and sum, with the exception that you can provide criteria where if it is not met, the data is to be ignored by the formula and therefore not the computer. Count if syntax include range and criteria. Range is the cells involved, and criteria is the value of the or label that needs to be fulfilled if the part of the range is to be counted. Average if and sum if, on the other hand, have three parts of each syntax: range, criteria, and average range. The range and criteria work the same as count if's syntax, with the exception that it would be average or sum. The average range is an optional part of the syntax. It is where the actual range of cell that will be average or sum is located. If it is not specified, the range will be used instead. So this will be my references: CCI Learning Solutions, Abante M, Basic Office Applications, Anvil Publishing, Abante M, ICT Empowerment, MS Office Application, Unlimited Books, and Innovative Training Works, Empowerment Technologies, Rex Bookstore Incorporated. (2017). So, good luck and enjoy the rest of the semester.